There is a place called Earth, where history is made repeatedly. This tale, which you shall face, is one of that very history. There are ancient and powerful tools, known as magic stones, unearthed from the vestiges of an ancient civilization. By using these magic stones, the Earth managed to attain prosperity. These magic stones amplify the will of their holder and bestowed power upon mankind. Only humans with an especially strong will or spirit are capable of wielding the power of the magic stones. Humans who could use these magic stones were known as rulers and built various civilizations around the world. But then, the prophets in blue clothes appeared at the castle on the night of the blue moon. They told of two prophecies about the magic stones. The first was that there were side effects for those who gained will through the use of these stones. The second prophecy was of a catastrophic disaster that would arise once the moon turns red. There are two sides to the power of will. One bestows power upon you from the will of hope. However, the other brings power from the will of despair. Only one man chose to believe in what the prophets predicted. Prince Grimm Glynn, an admirer of fairy tales. Grimm knew that fairy tales could encourage people. Almost 3 months had passed after Little Red had said, "You can rule over this power and surely beat Dracula." The end of his journey was drawing to an end. The ancient grimoire she had handed to him awakened his ability as a ruler and endowed to him the power to vanquish Dracula. If Jeanne d'Arc, Snow White, Cinderella, and Dracula could distort and dominate their own stories by the powers of nightmares, Grimm could return them to their original stories by the power of righteousness. On his journey, Grimm had met a comrade named Christie, an elf that fought alongside him against the formidable Jeanne d'Arc, a being who held a strong hatred for humanity. Pandora, the girl with the box, had been confined in the Forest of Darkness by Dracula. Little Red had said, "Releasing the hopes of Pandora is the way to completely destroy Dracula. She is the only way to stop Dracula, not a lie." Not a lie. Little Red always says with a chuckle. Though her ability to transform into a wolf by moon was very reliable, Grimm still felt a bit anxious about her. However, he paid it no mind, as the greater threat of Dracula loomed closer. Finally, Grimm reached Alvarez, the demon castle, and bested Dracula in battle. Nobody knew if that was truly the end of Dracula, as he held the power of immortality. However, by the holy power of Christie and the great support from many of the fairy tale characters, Dracula's power was able to become greatly weakened. At the end of the battle, Dracula burst into flames from Christie, and then Little Red transformed into a wolf with the power of the Crimson Moon and gave a powerful slash into Dracula. "Grimm vanquished Dracula with Pandora," the voice of Little Red resounded. As soon as he heard her voice, Grimm moved and released his and Pandora's power upon Dracula. Wrapped in dazzling light, Dracula collapsed within himself. "Disappear from this world," said Grimm to Dracula. "Impossible! I cannot be defeated by such a human." Dracula's body began to extinguish in a predictable way. Just as the villain from a story, he calls out in a mundane voice, "Is this the end?" While staring at Dracula's dying body, Grimm thought about how he could finally return to his simple life in the castle and read books to his heart's content. But then, a thought suddenly came to his mind. Sometimes fairy tale stories have merciless consequences. Even though Dracula was defeated, Grimm still sensed a dark miasma of his presence that lingered. "Well, it's about time," the clear red voice echoed through his words. Grimm's body started to fade and then become transparent, as if he were disappearing. Grimm, the chains of hope and despair are released thanks to you. Thank you and goodbye. You have overused your powers. Sleep in the world of fairy tales, not a lie. Well, let's begin. To the sky and then march to the moon. As Grimm loses consciousness, he catches sight of a black tower extending to the sky. This video was made possible thanks to patrons such as Alucard, Craig McCutcheon, and the Carnivalous Waltz.